Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 11, episode 11. Child, I am so sorry I'm late. I actually thought I did this review and everybody was messaging me and telling me I didn't do it. So now we're going to get into it as we get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Please do not hesitate to stop, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's see what these rich heifers doing this week. So it picks up with Erika still snotting and hyperventilating like a kid that just got a whooping. Girl, suck it up, Buttercup. Garcelle was letting the ladies know that she would never want to hurt her, and she knows that she's going through a lot, right? Yes, honey, she is going through a lot. It takes a lot to keep your lies straight, allegedly. So Dorit's sitting there on her high horse with her nose turned up like she didn't believe a word coming out of Garcelle's mouth. She's like, I didn't know. So Crystal said, I was privy to the information, but you wouldn't know because you were in the car already. She's like, if you were there, I know you wouldn't have said anything. So Kyle is like, I don't even know why, if Tom called Erika, it would be a big deal. Because, Kyle, she told y'all she didn't speak to him. All of them are on film. Each and every time she told you that, so she knows this is going to mess with her credibility. That's what the problem is. Erika emerges from the restroom and the ladies run up to her to console her. And Kyle is like, if you've been married all these years, this is what she's saying in her confessional. Obviously, he's going to try to call you. Honey, this isn't about the phone call. Come on, Kyle, keep up. So in the middle of the chaos, Kathy starts putting away the tacos. Kathy gonna clear a table if she don't do nothing else, child. She cleared that table the night before and it was still nasty. Honey, I am done with her. So Erika is telling them, it's just very hard. Girl, okay. She's even making Crystal emotional. Oh, Crystal, she got you. So then Rena says, I'm just so sorry that happened to you. It's just effed up. Rena, shut up. So Garcelle is like, you know what? I'm leaving, honey, because she has had enough of Rena's mess. So Kathy gets up to go after Garcelle to try to convince her to stay, right? So Garcelle is like, this really pisses me off because I just feel like Rena is not giving me the benefit of the doubt. Girl, listen, Rena could not wait for you to do something she deemed inappropriate so she could condemn you. That's the whole issue right here. Rena was just waiting for the moment that she could nail Garcelle to the cross. This was not even that big of a deal, but to Rena, honey, it was like striking gold. And especially the way she's been treating her over that whole Denise situation last season. And so Kathy went to go try to get Garcelle to join the group. Now, mind you, none of the other ladies have said a peep. They're not even worried about Garcelle and her hat or her wig getting up to walk towards the door. But that was so sweet of Kathy to at least go show some compassion toward Garcelle, because I really do feel like, yes, she's blunt. Yes, she asks the burning questions. She's getting to the bottom of the mess. But at the same time, I don't feel like she did this with any malice. Okay? That's just my opinion. So she's like, no, Kathy, look at her. I don't want to add to that. Garcelle is like, listen, this isn't even worth it, but you shared so much, so I thought it was okay. Listen, Garcelle, I know you did not try to purposely hurt Erika. Everyone else asks questions and they give up to the minute updates about each and every article that they read. So why can't you? That's all I'm trying to figure out. She says one thing and everybody is like, oh my God, how dare you question Erika? Well, honey, she gonna get a lot of questioning on the stand. I rest my case, Your Honor. Moving forward. Garcelle goes over to let Erika know face to face. She's like, look, I would not want to hurt you. Baby Erika is breaking down like they just told her that Tom was deceased. Honey, it's very over the top. So then Sutton says in her confessional, she's like, the reaction is a little bit much. This isn't about Garcelle. Honey, no, it's not. Not at all. And I'm glad you called it, Sutton, because everybody else seems to be in the dark. So she's like, this is about Erika and her problems. It makes me wonder if Erika is being honest. Honey, and isn't. So Erika and her bucket of tears, they tell the ladies that she's going back early, right? So Dorita's like, do you want us to make you a snack pack? Child, please, honey, she'll be fine. Now, Erika gets up to leave. Now, when Garcelle said she was leaving, nobody budged. But as soon as she dots the door, everyone that is Team Erika is on their way out right behind. Rena, Kyle, Dorit. I don't know if Kathy went outside or not. I think she was still cleaning up the Pico de Gallo. I'm not really sure. But that should make Garcelle feel like crap. Because if it were me, I would be like, dang, when I was leaving, nobody even cared. But now that Erika is leaving, it's like, oh my gosh, let's make sure she's okay. Honey, it's a fool. So inside, Sutton and Crystal are asking Garcelle if she's okay. And she's like, no, I'm not okay. So Sutton said, listen, you didn't do anything wrong. Outside, it's an entirely different story. They're like, we're so sorry this happened to you. We know you'll talk on your own and in your own time. Rena, shut it. She's like, why would she push it? Because she did. Okay. She asked the question, didn't wait for an answer, and she proceeded to run her mouth. It happens. You should know. Moving forward. Inside, Garcelle is like, it's interesting who's all outside. It's a little divided, don't you think? Honey, and is. So the way Erika acted in this scene, it just screams guilty. Allegedly. Honey, you are not just going to leave a person that's sick, okay? Because you're saying that his health was on the decline. So you mean to tell me you're going to leave a person that's sick after 20 years? Girl, please. Y'all still probably communicating, trying to get the lies and the mess together, honey, allegedly. And this unnecessary crying just proved it. So they come back inside, and Dorita's like, so how can we turn this around? Turn what around? So y'all mad at Garcelle on behalf of Erika. Girl, give me a break. So Rena and her lips are like, I'm so sad that this just happened. No, you aren't, honey. You are loving seeing Garcelle in the hot seat, and you ain't fooling me. So should Garcelle have waited for a response before saying what she had to say? Yes. I'm not taking that away. Garcelle should have waited until she said, yes, it's okay if you share, and then she should have shared. But it was not malicious. So just stop it. Rena, you and your soap opera antics, honey, I'm done. So then Garcelle said, if I felt like that was a moment that was going to push her over, I wouldn't have asked. So Rena was like, well, why did you feel like you had to say it in that moment? Garcelle said, well, I thought she was sharing something else. So, I mean, I didn't know. So Dorit was like, she said she didn't want to talk about it. Dorit, honey, are you new? Were you not just there, or were you not present when Crystal said Garcelle was not there to hear her say she didn't want to talk about it? Honey, they really want to villainize Garcelle in this moment, and it's not cool to me at all. Yes, she should have waited. But this, what y'all doing, honey, this is all the way wrong. And if it were me, I would want nothing else to do with any of you. But that's just me. So Kyle cuts it real short because, honey, she want to talk about the mess without Garcelle. Because Kyle, you ain't fooling me either. But you redeemed yourself a little bit later in the episode. But we'll get to that. So Kyle cuts it short so they can get ready for dinner. So Garcelle and Crystal are waiting outside like they're waiting for the school bus. I'm like, child, go outside when the car service has arrived, child. So they waiting outside, waiting for the school bus. And Garcelle was like, you know what? It's really unfortunate, but I feel like not a lot of people are on my side. Crystal was like, sides? That's weird because it's not like a your side, her side. Garcelle said, oh, but it is, honey. It is that way. Crystal, honey, just wait till you experience it, honey. These ladies love to rally together and against one person. You're new here. You'll learn. So she said, that's BS. That's why we're out here and there and there. Okay, Garcelle, honey, because let me tell you something. I'm unbiased on this channel, so I got to give it to you straight, no chaser. That's not why you're out there and there and there. Okay. The reason why I don't agree with you on that part, you guys are out here because you're staying at the hotel. You guys are out here because you knew they had a COVID scare and you didn't want to stay at the home. You wanted to stay at the hotel. Crystal wanted to get the hell away from Sutton so that she wouldn't be walked in on with a trench coat in the middle of the night. So that is why you're out there and there and there. I'm just saying. Gotta play devil's advocate just for a moment. So Garcelle is in her confessional and she said, look, I've always felt like there was an inner circle within this group, and it's just something that I cannot shake. Honey, I cannot deal with these high school cliques at their big grown age. Like, cut it out. That's just ridiculous. So she's like, I wasn't made to feel any other way either. I wasn't made to feel any different. Inside, Rena is like, it's not our job to ask questions unless she wants to share. Oh, is that right? Okay. Let's see here. Let's revisit. Was it okay to ask Denise questions about her secret rendezvous with Brandy? What? Say what now? Oh, okay. Is it your job to ask her questions about every article you come across about Tom and this money that he's been laundering, allegedly? Huh? What'd you say, Rena? Oh, okay, nothing. But you do it and it's no issue. Rena, honey, miss me with the bush. Okay. Moving forward, Kyle is like, she tells us things because she feels safe with us. What is that supposed to mean? Well, her and Garcelle aren't strangers, okay? They've known each other for a while. So I don't understand why you're saying she feels safe with you, but she doesn't. She felt safe enough to tell Garcelle and Crystal on that mountain that he was calling her. So apparently she felt some sort of safety. Y'all sit around and read articles about them all day long. So please do not start. So Kyle, in her confessional, she's like, Tom was one of the wealthiest lawyers that I know. I mean, he traveled on private planes, he lived in a mansion, and now it's just gone. Yes, Kyle. So ask yourself, how was he acquiring all of those things? Carol. So they're trying to figure out what to do for dinner. And then Kathy suggests that they have Ruth Chris. She's like, they have lobster mac and cheese and they have cream spinach and I just love me some Kathy. Kathy is nuts, honey. So they're acting like it's disgusting. And I'm like, did I miss something, honey? What is wrong with Ruth Chris? Child, I guess I'm good and poor, okay? So all the ladies are getting ready for dinner and things that they like to wear. And so Sutton asks Kathy, do you like this? She was like, the necklace looks a little daytime. Oh, child. Well, you asked her, honey. Oh, the fact that they get all dressed up with no particular place to go and to sit around Kyle's table sends me each and every time, honey. So Dorit comes down dressed like Cardi B at the VMAs. Child. Dorit said COVID will not stop me from wearing this outfit. Okay, girl. Garcelle and Crystal, they arrive, and Garcelle's looking like she don't want to be there, honey. I don't blame you. So Dorit is like, did anyone speak to Erika? No, no one spoke to Erika. Girl, shut up. Hey, baby. If I have to hear that one more time in one more scene, I'm going to scream. Child. So Kyle was like, yeah, I texted her. And so Garcelle said, yeah, I texted her too. Kyle said, and she didn't respond, Kyle. That's what happened. So Kyle said, next time she sees you, she won't yell at you. She won't curse you out. She just won't trust you. Well, that might be the perfect place to be because who wants to be trusted by those they can't trust? Catch it. Kyle, please. Moving forward. Garcelle said, okay, I get that, but I did not do it intentionally. Rena said, is there anything you can own in it? Garcelle said, excuse me? Rena said, in her confessionals, she's not someone that has your back. Honey, and you are? Rena, give me a break. Rena repeated the question, and then Garcelle goes, absolutely not. The only thing she could have done differently, in my opinion, if you're going to ask for permission to speak on something, wait until after she has responded to proceed. That is what I feel like she should have done. That is the only way that I feel like she had an ounce of anything to own. Garcelle in her confessional said, seeing the way she did Denise is very hypocritical. She can take her ownness and shove it. Honey, Ann can. Once again, Dorit says, I don't think you were trying to hurt her. Maybe you were just needling a little bit. This is pathetic. Y'all know good and well this woman was not going after Erika in that way. So Garcelle continues to defend herself, saying she would not kick her when she was down. She's like, I'm not that person. Let me tell you something. I would have cussed all of them out. How dare you try to crucify me? But the liar, allegedly, can shed some tears, and that story she told y'all about Tom playing Humpty Dumpty and falling off the wall or whatever off the cliff, that's believed? Girl gone. So Crystal tries to assure them that Garcelle was unaware. Garcelle said, no, you don't have to defend me. I know who I am. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that on. I know that's right. Garcelle, do not let them try and make you feel like you purposely tried to hurt Erika Kane. Erika Jane. Moving forward. So then Garcelle said, obviously you, Rena, think I should. And so Rena said, make me understand though, why did you do that? Garcelle said, okay, I overstepped. She said, okay, I'll take that. But in the confessional, she said, I have nothing to own. I was just trying to get her to shut up. I know that's right. I wouldn't have given any of them anything, honey, but that's just me. So they get the food from Ruth Chris, courtesy of Kathy's suggestion, and Kathy suggests they play a game. Honey, good luck. So Kathy goes, I heard you were upset because someone said they don't see color. Now, what kind of game is this? But child, if we're going to get into it, let's get into it. So then they do a flashback to the Sutton and Crystal conversation, right? Honey, I bet Sutton was like, oh my God, why? I know Sutton was thinking, we just made up. So then Kathy said, I grew up with Michael Jackson and he said he didn't see color. And I said, me either. Well, child, Michael thought he was Peter Pan. He probably didn't realize what he was saying. So Garcelle said, you can see me as a wife, a mother, a friend, but if you don't see color, then you don't see me. That was so very well stated, Garcelle. Garcelle said, I think that's Kathy's way of saying I love everybody, but we've moved on from that. So I'm going to need you to see color. Yes, ma'am, honey. I totally agree. Because trust me, if me and Kathy were out together, the world would see my color before they saw who I actually was. She said, I'm a black woman at the end of the day, and that shows up before anything. Fun. And does. So Kyle is like, I think she's saying we're all equal. Garcelle said, but we're not. No, we are not. And unfortunately, we never will be. So Kathy said, okay, well, that's the conversation we need to have then. Kathy said, but we are all equal. And so Dorit is saying, yeah, we are. Garcelle said, no, we aren't. So then Dorit said, well, why aren't we? Garcelle said, because we are not treated as equally as you are. Dorit was like, but we should be. Crystal said, yeah, but we're not talking about what we should be. We're talking about reality. Yes, we should be, honey, but we are not. Okay? Sadly, we aren't. So Garcelle said, have any of you ever had a conversation with your kids before they left home about being pulled over? They're like, no, we haven't. Well, honey, let me tell you this, that your reality and ours are two different. Okay? I remember walking into a store with my 6-year-old son. This is just a story time. It's not really a story time. And he was wearing a hoodie. It was cold outside and he's a kid, so he pulls the hoodie up over his head. I said, oh no, baby, you have to take that hoodie off. He's like, why, mommy? I said, listen, as a young black little boy, you wearing a hoodie on your head could be seen as threatening. And I'm not sure if you know what threatening means, but it means like when you're playing a video game and you have to beat the big boss at the end. Sometimes they look at you as like the big boss and they want to fight you even though you're actually not a bad guy. And I was trying to put it in layman's terms so he could kind of understand it as a 6-year-old, and he caught it. But the fact that I had to have that conversation with him at 6 to not put his hoodie over his head because I didn't want him to be shot in the street, okay, by somebody accidentally thinking he was about to steal or rob or kill or anything like that. Even though I know he's only 6 years old, soon he'll be a 6-foot tall black man, okay? And he won't be innocent and cute. He'll be black and he'll be a threat. And that's just the real. So Garcelle said, she worries about her son Oliver driving because in an instant, he's not her son. He's just a black man. Yes, and he's a black man with tattoos, and that's even worse. So she said, this world doesn't see the value of our black men. Sad, but definitely true. So Dorit is piping up again, saying she was raised in a house where you could never dislike someone or treat them differently. Well, honey, everybody wasn't. Garcelle said, yes, just because you grew up with it doesn't mean it didn't happen. So then Crystal said, I wish I grew up that way, but I grew up to protect myself. And so she tells us, she was teased and taught to put her head down so she wouldn't get hurt. And that's a lot of our truths. I understand that they come from a privileged background, but when you're a person of color, you are not afforded the same privilege. So Kathy said, I don't want to have that conversation with the 4-year-old. Their little minds and their hearts, they're so innocent. Garcelle said, yes, but you would have it if he's black. She said, it's a privilege not to have that conversation, honey, and it definitely is. So, child, this is when Dorit puts her foot in her mouth. Oh, my gosh. So Dorit said, the people that work in my home, basically the help, they're multicultural. They're black, Filipino, Hispanic. She's like, so my kids love everybody. Some of the people they love the most in this world are dark skinned. Why did you feel the need to let us know what shade of black they were? Honey, we come in every hue. What are you even saying? So Kyle hits Garcelle's leg under the table. Like, listen to this ish. So Garcelle said, but are all the brown skinned people only the help at your house? Then she goes, no, my mother's best friend is black. Garcelle said, oh, awesome. Dorit, let me clarify some things for you and your accent, okay? You and your headband wigs have been silent all season. And this is when you choose to pipe up? Girl, how lucky are we that your children love the dark-skinned help? Honey, you missed the entire point. Garcelle didn't ask if all of your help were black or brown. She's asking if your children only experience other races because of your hired help. That's what she's asking you. And clearly it's a yes. So your little trying to sound woke speech is giving very much tone deaf and giving very much ignorant. Kyle said you talk too much. Then to add insult to injury, she says, it's not only brown people that work in my house. Garcelle has been to my house, so she knows that. Just stop it, Dorito. Just stop it, honey. The fact that you think you can stand with us because a black woman has been in your home and you hire people of color is just laughable, honey. It's ridiculous. So please just cut it out. Just like that Vegas outfit you're wearing. A bunch of foolishness, honey, for a dinner in La Quinta. Child, I'm done. Just sit this one out next time, okay? Moving forward. Garcelle handled that with such grace because I don't know if I could have done the same. Ebony from over on Roni, honey, pay attention. No need to teach, honey. Ask one question and their true colors will come out. Good job, Garcelle. Good job. I also think that Kyle is finally getting it. After that conversation that she had with Garcelle, I feel like she's actually picking up what she's putting down. Ooh, child, this reunion is gonna be litty. Honey, so much for a fun game. So they get up to clear the dishes, and Dorita's like, next time, can you hire some help, Kyle? Honey, haven't you had enough of the help talk? You might want to watch the movie The Help. Don't eat no pies anytime soon. Moving forward. It's the next morning, of course, and it's time for another Erika Jane update. Crystal and Garcelle talk a little bit, but of course, at the other house, they're reading an article in the LA Times. So Kyle is like, oh my gosh, I thought it couldn't get any worse. So then they read how Tom was swindling money from the settlements of orphans, cancer patients, and others, right? So they also read that some of the money was funneled to Erika Jane's accounts, meaning she wasn't or isn't innocent. That's why she got out of Dodge to get ahead of the story. It was more than 20 million improperly funneled into her accounts. Now tell me if she had any idea where all this lump sum of money was coming from. That's why she was crying. She got wind of that article and took it out on Garcelle. Sutton called it, honey, and they ain't fooling her. So Sutton emerges after getting her Nancy Drew on all night long. She's been up since 7 a.m. dissecting the bush, okay? So Sutton said, it just screams Madoff. So then Renna was like, well, was Rachel Madoff implicated? And she's like, no, she wasn't. But if this is her business and it's under her name and she accepted those funds, then that's not good. So Kyle is like, so what's going to happen to Erika? Sutton says she's going to have to reconcile that. If she got those 20 million, she's going to have to give it back out. And she's also going to have to go to court for this. My thing is this. Erika and Tom knew allegedly that the money belonged to the victims and they still spent it. Even if she didn't know where it was coming from, she knows now. So how is she going to explain this? That's what I want to know. Okay, and I mean, the fact that the money was funneled to her as a loan, why would you say it's a loan when this is your wife? If this is your money, then this is her money, right? California, community property state. I'm not understanding why you worded it as a loan. And then they were saying that he was handling his business like a Ponzi scheme. So I'm just so confused. So Garcelle said in her confessional, she said, it's the LA Times, so she's sure that she got a heads up. Exactly, Garcelle. Her pitching a fit was her watching the walls cave in and her deflecting. At the other house, the ladies are still talking about it, and Dorit said, they said he was running his business like a Ponzi scheme. So Sutton says in her confessional, these are not white-collar crimes. They have victims, and it seems that this is a lot bigger and was going on for a lot longer than we even know, honey, and was. So Lisa was like, do you think she knew about the article? Of course she did. So Kyle said, yes, that's why she left. Here goes Dorit. Why? Dorit, do you know any? Oh, child. Oh, Dorit, please keep up. Why do you think? Girl, oh. So Kyle is like, this article is saying Erika was complicit because now Kathy's downstairs. And Renna is still making excuses for Erika's innocence. She's like, do you think Tom told Erika about his long day at work and about him having troubles? Absolutely not. It ain't happening. He was in charge. So she goes, you know how many times Harry has put a contract in front of me and I've signed every single paper. I mean, it's no big deal. Well, honey, you shouldn't do that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please read everything. So Sutton said, look, if this is your company and money is going in, you're responsible for it. Even if the devil himself puts some money in there, you are responsible for it. Fork, pitch, and all, honey. So then Dorit is like, the picture that's being painted is that they needed this money to keep up appearances. See, this is what happened when you try to keep up with the Joneses, honey. I guess it is expensive to be her, and it's going to cost her her freedom, allegedly. Honey, that's a hefty price tag, more than that Gucci, Louis, and Prada put together. Moving forward, Sutton said, "Have we been slightly duped, honey?" And you have. So Dorit goes, "It's really a hard pill to swallow because I've known her for 5 years. You've known her for X amount of years." Kathy goes, "I don't know her." Baby, the way I just screamed when Kathy said, honey, that's Kyle friend. I know that's right, Kathy. Kathy said, you about to get me in the Hiltons all mixed up in that mess. Child, the bottom line is this. Erika was her alter ego the entire time that you've known her. Maybe she'll introduce you to the real her one of these days. So now even Kyle is questioning whether or not Erika has been telling the truth, right? So Dorit says, it's going to be a long and expensive road, and that's what I feel most bad for. So not the victims, but how expensive all this will be. Somebody take Dorit's mic, honey. I'm officially done with her. Officially done with her and all of her Fendi. In the next scene, the ladies are back home from La Quinta and Dorit is talking to her husband. He basically said, listen, you can't support her unless you know that she's innocent. Because child PK ain't trying to get mixed up in that, honey. He already got a little scandal of his own going on because the streets are talking. Allegedly. So Kyle called Dorit and told her Sutton said she wanted to get together without Erika to talk. Child Sutton got out her Murder, She Wrote magnifying glass and dissected that article word for word. Good job, Angela Lansbury. In the next scene, Dorit is setting up for this meeting, and then the ladies start to arrive. You know, they're doing that. Oh my God, you look so pretty. Wow. I love how the Botox is settling in. Oh my goodness, look at this couch. Oh my goodness, look at your shirt. You know how they do, child. So they come in and they sit down after all the niceties and fawning over each other. And they tell us about Erika posting these 1982 flip phone text messages. Girl, gone with those text messages you got off Google, honey, allegedly. So then Garcelle gets there and she's like, I asked her if there was any infidelity and she wasn't honest. Child, is Erika even her real name? I do not believe those text messages. That's just my opinion. I feel like this is some junk that y'all pulled from wherever, and now you're using it to try to make it seem like he was cheating. I'm not buying it, honey. It's a scheme and a scam that Todd set up to come at us with the bush. Honey, I'm not buying it. So Sutton gets there, and honey, she wasted no time. She said, I have some reservations about La Quinta. She said, look, I think we're being placed in a very bad position. We've been told stories that don't add up. Honey, the math ain't mathing. She said, I started thinking, what have we gotten ourselves into? So Kyle said, it sounds like you're saying she's guilty. Sutton said, I just have questions, and I don't know how much I want to be around my friend at this time. Listen, Sutton wants to protect herself and her assets. She doesn't want to be subpoenaed and have to recant all those lies, honey, under oath. Throw the whole friendship away. And child, that was the end of the episode. Let me tell y'all something. This episode was good to me. This season is giving what needs to be gave. Honey, this is the season to end our seasons. And not just because of the Erika thing. It's about everybody showing their true colors, getting into it as they get into it. I mean, it's just good. And I am here for it. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you felt about this episode. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.